Hello, everybody. First of all, I just wanted to say I hope you had a very Merry Christmas. And mine was okay, but it wasn't the greatest. Now, today we're going to discuss the top 10 worst albums of 20 and 21. I want to preface this by saying that there's an honorable mention, number 1. So, let's get into that. Okay. Now, the honorable mention goes to Fortitude by Gojira. This album did not have the intensity as from Mars to Sirius had. I just didn't care for it that much. There are some good moments here, but as a bad album, not really. It's just kind of mediocre. That's all. I'm sure Gojira will do better next time. So now we get to the actual list. Number 10, Bullet for My Valentine with their self-titled. Now their first couple of albums on this were pretty good, actually. I didn't mind them at all, but it actually ended up being kind of a lie because the rest of the album was pretty boring, and I did not care for it that much. Most of the album to me seemed, I don't know, kind of blah. So there's number 10. Okay, number 9, we have Archetype with Bleed the Future. People are gonna crucify me for this, but this album didn't seem to have much variety. It was all about speed and technicality, and the drums sounded like a machine gun. For me, the drums took away all the sounds of the guitar, and that's not a good thing. So there. Number 8 is Limp Bizkit with Still Sucks. Yeah, you kind of knew this was going to be on here. Limp Bizkit seems to be running out of ideas. And I guess they're using kind of humor by saying we still suck and this and that, but hey, at least it wasn't Results May Vary, which was a horrific album. But I'd maybe listen to this once, but then skip it over. Now comes probably the most disappointing album for me, Mastodon with Hushed and Grim. For number 7, I did not like this album at all. There were no dynamics. Every song seemed to be at the same tempo. There was no real punch to it. I thought it was pretty boring. So I really hope they do a better job next time. Number 6 is Whitechapel with Kin. Now, Mastodon was a boring album. This is boring and irritating. I don't care for most deathcore bands. I just don't like that style. This wasn't the worst, but it reminded me of everything deathcore that I don't like. There was so much screaming. Every song sounded the same. And so yeah, you may want to avoid this one. Number 5, Atreyu with Baptize. No surprise there. How many times do I have to keep telling people that pop punk metalcore combination does not work? It doesn't work. Every song sounds kind of similar. It was kind of a tad painful for me to listen to. I don't want to listen to it again. I can tell you that. Number 4. I can't even pronounce it. I'm sorry. Mastodon unter something by a band that starts with the letter H. This is like a giant mishmash. This is like taking butter, margarine, ketchup, and syrup and putting it all into a blender, maybe with a little bit of human spit involved in that too. But this was pretty bad, really bad. Now we're getting up to the really bad stuff. I listened to it once. I don't ever want to listen to it again. And so that's that. Number 3, we have Ice 9 Kills. Now, this is a parody of horror movies. The music is not good. You thought the Time Warp was bad? You ought to hear this thing. This is pretty atrocious. And now they talk about my favorite movie, one of my favorite movies, Pet Sematary. Pet Sematary is one of the creepiest lines. Sometimes dead is better. Now, they repeat throughout the chorus, sometimes dead is better, sometimes dead is better. And now it's changed from a frightening passage, a passage that makes you think deeply, to a meme. How the hell does that happen? It was just, again, I listened to this once. I won't do them the service of listening to it again. It was terrible. Some people actually liked it. I didn't. So there you go. Number 2, Attila with Closure. And they continue on with their stupid lyrics. All they can do is curse throughout the lyrics. Now, I'm not somebody who gets offended very easily, but it seems like they do it just to do it. And they had this, bro, I'm gonna beat your ass type attitude, and that does not sway me at all. This album was terrible, just like all their other albums and their discography. I'm glad that I only had to listen to that once and never again, because this one was total and complete shit. Number 1, and this is so obvious. I mean, it's bizarre, but it's so obvious. Psycho Sinner with the 9 albums that they made. Now, I listened to one of them, Killing Me Softly, and that did absolutely nothing for me. I listened to the whole album. It used every genre a little bit, but to the worst of that genre, on worse than that. And I wonder if Jeremy Spencer was trying to troll all of us by giving us 9 albums. It was like everybody didn't like Torch to Faith from last year when they were psychosexual. And it seems like he's being a baby about it and say, well, it's like a chef. Let me put it like that. It's like a chef who says, fine, you didn't like my cooking, here's 9 plates of goat shit. That's the way it was. This is just fucked up, and I don't want to I don't want any part of this. Just a lot of people didn't listen to it, and they were smart, really smart, not to listen to it. So avoid these albums at all cost. And thank you for watching. And next time I will be just as excited as we talk about good albums. Okay, thank you. You have a great day now. Bye.